Coach Mills here, coming at you with a brand new Valorant video. And in this video, we're going to be breaking down everything that we know about patch 3.11, plus big news stories that you might have missed this week. There's a lot to talk about, so let's make sure to break it all down. But go to the GameLeap website right now if you want to improve, if you want to climb in this act or this next patch. We got up-to-date guides, including an in-depth chamber guide that is being made currently, so definitely go check it out right now. But without further ado, let's jump into the video. So the first thing that we got to talk about is the Reddit thread talking about the new show Arcane. And of course, Arcane is also the big special crossover that we got to get a new sheriff skin in the game, and there was a lot of lore involved. And for those of you who don't know what Arcane is, it's basically a League of Legends based TV show. And this big post on Reddit talked about how the Arcane TV show made people wish that there was a Valorant TV show. And honestly, this would be the coolest thing imaginable. I don't know if any of you have watched Arcane. If you haven't seen it, definitely see it. It's on Netflix. It's freaking sick. I don't even play League of Legends, but it's amazing. And I can only imagine what they would do with the Valorant Netflix series. They could make it really sick. They could make it hype. I really would love that. And I definitely want to hear your thoughts on the matter. If there was a Valorant Netflix series, who would you want it to be centered around? What storyline? Do you just want like a continuation of that cool cinematic between Jet and Phoenix? I thought that was really cool, and I think that they could expand upon that, plus much more. Definitely let me know what you think about all that down below. The next thing that we need to talk about is some controversy that kind of got stirred up in the community with a streamer known as Timmy. And for those of you who don't know who Timmy is most notoriously known for playing Apex, but he's one of these gaming gods that when you think about a player that can just be good at every single hit scan, every single FPS, this is one of the guys that come to mind, along the names of Tens, Defran, Shroud, Asu. Timmy is also in that ballpark, and something that Timmy did previously that got a lot of clout, a lot of freaking hype, was climbing solo queue in Apex all the way from the lowest rank to the highest rank in one stream, and it took him like 45 freaking hours. And he attempted the same thing in Valorant. Now, he actually made it to the 65-hour mark, 65 hours of streaming straight. That is more than 2 full days of straight streaming and grinding from Iron to Radiant, and he didn't quite make it. At the end, he was dead freaking tired. However, there's a ton of controversy being stirred up about Smurfing. Not only was Tens banned midstream and he had to talk to a developer to get him reinstated, but a lot of people have been speaking out against this. Specifically, even someone like Shazam said that the majority of this climb is going to be Timmy just stomping on low-ranked players and just increasing the Smurfing problem. And yeah, on one hand, you can see how cool and difficult something like this is. I mean, even someone as good as Timmy couldn't do it, and he wants to try again, and it's probably going to take him like well over 50 hours to complete, and it's cool to watch. He had a lot of hype, a lot of viewers, but on the other hand, he's ruining games, tons and tons of freaking games. And if you add on to that the fact that he could encourage other people to attempt this Iron to Radiant, it really could create a really bad precedent for Valorant where they're trying to be anti-Smurf, and I, for one, think that it's not something that we should encourage. I think that if you're gonna do a low rank to high rank challenge, there should be huge limitations on what types of weapons you could use, or what types of abilities you could use, or whatever the case may be. People that climb from low rank to high rank with only Marshall, or Sheriff, or Bucky, or whatever, I think that that is fine because you're putting a giant amount of restrictions on yourself. But just to go full tryhard because you're trying to climb in one stream and just ruining tons of gamers in the process, especially in the lower ranks where you're just dropping like 30 and 40 bombs, I just don't think it's that fucking cool. But that's just my opinion. I want to hear your opinion about it down below. Now, as far as what we know about patch 3.11, which is going to be out in the next couple of days, first off, rank changes are coming to patch 3.11. No more force stacking at all, regardless of rank. You can no longer force stack. Now, the only group stacks that you can have are 3, 2, and 5. There's not going to be any force stacking with one man out, which I think is a good thing because that person typically always got blamed and never was invited in voice chat, and their parents left them and they have no friends. So yeah, I think it's better to have 3 versus 2. Okay, sorry, I went a little bit too far there. But next up, we do got to talk about the fact that Immortal Plus gets 5 stacking now. So Immortal Plus can get that 5 stack. They might not win as much, but they're going to be going up against other 5 stacks, and it's going to be interesting to see high-level players actually potentially queuing up against each other, or even pre-built teams. If they queue at the same time, they can match up against each other. And now in Immortal, you can definitely play with the group. You can play with your scrim team, you might get completely stomped by pro players 5-stacking, but you know, that's the dice that you freaking roll. Next up, we got to talk about Chamber. Gonna be live. We just did an in-depth breakdown of Chamber and everything we learned on the PBE. What meta will he bring? I think he's gonna be the best opper we have seen since Jet, and he's definitely going to be a staple in the meta because of how fun he is to play for a long time. Expect a lot of insta-locking Chambers, and make sure that you have the fastest SSD possible so you can insta-lock him first. But last thing that we need to talk about is what other changes will we see in this patch. Champions is not for another 15 days, and that was the big barrier to add new content, put the game on a new patch, right? We don't want to put the game on a new patch because the big pro match is about to happen, and we want people to be on the same patch. At least this is Riot's previous reasoning. But the thing is, if Chamber's going to be live and he's most likely not going to be played in Champions, then does it really matter if the live patch is different from the main patch, if it's already gonna be like the live patch versus the esports patch? So I wouldn't be surprised if we see some Jet changes, some freaking Omen buffs that we've already seen proposed, and some other changes. But I also wonder if they're gonna hold off on some of that because maybe Jet doesn't need to get hit as hard because Chamber's really strong. Maybe he needs to get hit with other characters. We never know, so I'm just gonna have to wait and see, and we're definitely gonna be reporting on every change in this channel. So make sure you smash the like, subscribe, and go to the GameLeap website if you really want to improve, you really want to dominate in this freaking patch. You got to go check it out right now down below. But thank you so much for coming by. Hope you enjoyed this video. I love y'all faces, and I'll see you next time, baby.